Have you ever found yourself refreshing your phone every 30 seconds, waiting for a text back? Or maybe you've spent hours dissecting a two-word reply, trying to decode its hidden meaning. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. This is the modern-day chase for love. It's that frantic, anxious energy that makes us feel like we're constantly auditioning for the role of someone's partner. We're sold this idea that relentless pursuit is romantic, but in reality, it's exhausting. It drains our self-esteem and leaves us feeling powerless. But what if I told you there's an ancient operating system for modern dating problems? A philosophy developed over 2,000 years ago that's shockingly relevant for cutting through the noise of dating apps and social media pressure today. Stoicism, practiced by Roman emperors and thinkers, provides a powerful framework not for winning someone over, but for building an unshakable inner foundation. When you build that foundation, you stop chasing and start attracting. In this video, we're breaking down 10 Stoic rules that will completely rewire your approach to relationships. This isn't about playing games. It's about building genuine confidence and peace that makes you magnetic. Rule number 1. The foundation work on yourself first. The core of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. It's the radical idea that some things are within our power. Our opinions, our impulses, our desires, and some things are not. Our reputation, our property, and crucially, how other people feel about us. Trying to control the uncontrollable is a recipe for constant anxiety and frustration. The most powerful investment you can make is in the one thing you truly command: yourself. Practical application. This week, conduct a personal audit. Take a notebook and draw 2 columns. In the first column, list things related to your dating life that you cannot control. For example, how my date reacts to me, getting matches on apps. If someone ghosts me. In the second column, list the things you can control: my profile, bio, and pictures, my punctuality, my honesty, the energy I bring, my self-care routine. Your mission is to consciously divert your mental energy from the first column entirely and pour it into the second. When you feel yourself worrying about a match, immediately take one actionable step from your can-control list. Rule number 2. Your mental fortress develops self-control. The Stoic philosopher Seneca warned against being enslaved by our passions. He saw emotional reactivity as a form of slavery. In today's world of instant gratification, our passions are those pangs of anxiety, jealousy, and neediness that push us to act impulsively. Self-control is the muscle that allows you to pause between the trigger and your response. It's not about suppression. It's about choosing a response that aligns with your long-term goals, not your short-term fears. Practical application. Implement the 10-minute rule. When you feel a strong, impulsive urge related to dating, to send an angry text, to double text, to stalk an ex online, you must force yourself to wait 10 full minutes. Set a timer. During those 10 minutes, do something that requires mild physical engagement. Wash the dishes. Do 20 push-ups. Organize a shelf. This creates a physical circuit breaker for your emotional brain. After 10 minutes, ask yourself, do I still feel this urge is necessary and aligned with my self-respect? 9 times out of 10, the impulse will have passed, and you'll have saved yourself from an action you'd regret. Rule number 3. The respect principle. Honor autonomy. To the Stoics, living in accordance with nature meant accepting reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. The reality is that every single person is a sovereign individual with their own free will, desires, and boundaries. To become angry or hurt because someone exercises their free will in a way that doesn't benefit us is to argue with reality itself. It's like getting angry at the rain. Respecting autonomy is the ultimate sign of strength and maturity. Practical application. Practice acceptance, scripting. When you face rejection or disinterest, have a mental or physical script ready. Instead of spiraling into "why not me?" say to yourself, it is what it is. Their decision is their own. My worth is independent of their choice. Out loud, if possible. Wisdom will. I hope they find what they're looking for. This isn't about being fake. It's about actively practicing the Stoic art of acceptance. It trains your brain to release attachment to specific outcomes, freeing up immense mental energy. Rule number 4. The long game. Patience is a strategy. The Stoics were masters of perspective. They encouraged reflecting on the vastness of time to see their current problems as small and temporary. In dating, impatience is a failure of perspective. It makes us believe that if this date doesn't work out, we'll be alone forever. Patience is the understanding that building something meaningful, whether a career, a skill, or a relationship, cannot be rushed. It is the antidote to desperation. Practical application. Adopt a gardener's mindset. A gardener doesn't plant a seed and dig it up every day to see if it's growing. They provide consistent care, water, sunlight, good soil, and trust the process. Apply this to dating. Your water and sunlight are your consistent actions. Being authentic, putting yourself out there, working on yourself. Your trust is letting connections grow at their own natural pace without forcing them. When you feel impatient, ask yourself, am I being a gardener or a digger-upper right now? Rule number 5. The reframe rejection is data, not a verdict. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the ultimate reframe. Rejection isn't a roadblock. It's a redirection. It's the universe's way of closing a door that wasn't meant for you, saving you time and heartache. Every no is data that helps you fine-tune your search for a yes that actually fits. Practical application. Create a rejection log. This isn't a place to vent. It's a structured worksheet. For each rejection, note: 1. The event. 2. My initial emotional story. 3. Alternative. Neutral explanations, for example. They're busy with work. We want different things. The timing is off. 4. One thing I can learn from this. This practice forces your brain out of the emotional amygdala hijack and into the logical prefrontal cortex, transforming a painful event into a useful learning experience. Rule number 6. The inner well. Find fulfillment within. The Stoic ideal of eudaimonia is often translated as flourishing. It's a deep, resilient well-being that comes from living a life of virtue and reason, regardless of external circumstances. If your happiness is tethered to your relationship status, you are handing the remote control of your emotions to someone else. A Stoic cultivates an inner citadel of contentment that remains unshaken by the winds of external validation. Practical application. The 1-week self-validation challenge. For 1 week, go completely off the grid for external validation. No posting on social media. No fishing for compliments. No seeking reassurance from dates about how you look. Instead, generate validation internally. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you did that you're proud of, regardless of whether anyone saw them. This could be as simple as I was patient with a colleague or I cooked a healthy meal. This rewires your brain to source its worth from within. Rule number 7. Authentic interaction. Practice virtuous communication. For the Stoics, virtue wasn't an abstract idea. It was a practical toolkit for daily life. Applying the 4 cardinal virtues to communication transforms it from a game of manipulation into a practice of integrity. It's about being effective, not just being nice. This kind of clear, virtuous communication is incredibly rare and therefore incredibly attractive. Practical application. Before a difficult conversation or an important date, do a virtue check. Quickly review the 4 virtues. Wisdom. What is the most truthful and helpful thing to say here? Courage. What is the kind but direct thing I need to express that I might be afraid to? Justice. Am I listening as much as I want to be heard? Am I being fair to them and to myself? Temperance. Am I sharing an appropriate amount for this stage of the connection? This 30-second mental checklist ensures your communication comes from a place of strength and respect. Rule number 8. The mind's garden. Cultivate quality thoughts. The Stoics were early pioneers of cognitive behavioral therapy. They understood that our thoughts create our emotions, which then drive our actions. You cannot control the first thought that pops into your head, but you have absolute power over the second thought and the first action you take. Tending to the garden of your mind is the most important work you will ever do. Practical application. Practice thought labeling. When a negative, anxious thought about dating arises, they're going to cancel. I'm bad at this. Simply label it. Say to yourself, that's the story of rejection narrative. Or that's my inner critic speaking. By labeling it, you separate your conscious self from the automatic thought. You realize it is not a fact, but merely a mental habit passing through. This creates just enough space to choose a different, more rational thought. Rule number 9. The journey. Value the process, not just the outcome. The Stoics practiced amor fati, a love of fate. This means embracing everything that happens, not just the desired outcomes. In dating, this means learning to find value and enjoyment in the entire process. The interesting people you meet, the funny stories you gather, the lessons you learn about yourself, even the bad dates. When you love the process, you never truly fail. You only ever learn and experience. Practical application. After every date or interaction, instead of asking, "Did they like me?" ask these 3 process-oriented questions. What did I learn about myself? What did I learn about what I want in a partner? Did I act in accordance with my values? This immediately shifts your focus from an external outcome you can control to an internal assessment that you can. It makes every single interaction a success because it provides valuable data. Rule number 10. The goal-built connection, not seek approval. The chase is rooted in a scarcity mindset. I need you to like me to feel okay. The Stoic approach is rooted in an abundance mindset. I am already okay. I'm here to see if we connect. This is a seismic shift from being a passive participant, hoping to be chosen, to an active chooser assessing compatibility. You are the interviewer, not just the interviewee. Practical application. Develop a values checklist. Write down the 5 non-negotiable values you require in a partner. For example, honesty, curiosity, ambition, kindness, emotional availability. On a date, your primary goal is not to be impressive, but to be investigative and authentic. Ask open-ended questions, share your own values, and observe. Your mission is to discreetly see if their words and actions align with your checklist. This transforms the experience from a performance into a purposeful discovery. Transforming your love life isn't about learning a new pickup line or manipulating an algorithm. It's about doing the oldest, most profound work there is. Building character. These 10 Stoic rules are a blueprint for that construction project. They ask you to shift your focus from the outside, what others think of you, to the inside, what you think of yourself. This isn't a 10-day challenge. It's a lifelong practice. Start with just one rule that resonates most with you right now. Practice it for a week. Then add another. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. You are undoing years of social conditioning. If you found value in this guide to becoming a more resilient, grounded, and magnetic person, please let me know by liking this video. It truly helps us grow this community, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which one of these rules is the biggest challenge for you? For more content on how to apply ancient wisdom to modern problems, from relationships to career to anxiety, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching. Remember, the most attractive thing you can be is not available. The most attractive thing you can be is at peace.